Hi guys, it's Andy from Man City Fan TV. How's everyone today? Hope you're well. Sorry, I'm just bringing this back up here. You're the first, says the Sane. Hey Andy, hey Damp Music. Rubton Blondie, how are you? Very well, thank you. I'm just bringing up my other accounts. Hi Makund, how are you? I just might need to log into this just to bring this up. Let me just see, 1 minute. Will Pep go? I'm worried. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Right, that's it, I'm now live on my screen. So let me go back and have a quick look. Sweaty Pizza 212, where are you from? Ali Mohammed, hi, how are you, Ali? Will Pep go? Andy, mate, I'm worried. Don't worry, English finest, he's going nowhere. Kian, I'm good, mate, how are you? Hi, Makand. Sit till I die. Hello, Andy, how it's going? Yeah, it's going good, mate. Hi there, says Petros. Regan says, hi, mate, how are you? Vinny the vegan. Hi, Andy, how are you, Vinny? Also, hi to all. Will Pep go? Andy, I'm worried. You've repeated yourself again. Andy, how's it going? Blue Moon, yeah, I'm good, mate. Pep is going nowhere. English finest, nope, he's going nowhere. Pep to stay defo, not worry. Hi Andy, hi Kian, hi Andy, love the content, thank you Abdallah. The saying, if he goes, who do you get? If who goes, how would you react if he did go? Morning Andy, says Yassi, so how are you? Ian Matongwai says, hey Andy, how are you Ian? I have the best name I don't know, Finny the Vegan's pretty funny. Uchi Onwuka says, hi Andy, how are you mate? Where are you from? Abhishek, Barcelona's entered into signing race, apparently has put 190 million. I've not read that one. Pepper said he's not leaving to Juve so many times, getting silly now. I agree with you. Yassi, so I'm not too happy with Sane links to Bayern. Any truth in it? Yes, there is. Pepe's taken over at Chester City. Hi Andy, happy Friday, mate. You too, buddy. How's it going out there? Sheffield United link with Pep, said the same. Mr. Bobba Django, do you want Maguire? We're going to talk about Maguire. The three things we're going to look at in Maguire, Sane, Pep, the rumours to Juve, and anything else you want to talk about. Will we ransom Bayern big time? We're going to have to. Hi Andy Abdullah, how are you? JTR 35, Man City claim that Lampard is a City legend. I don't know about legend, but I mean, he was decent. We want Maguire. Maguire is quality, says the same. Mr. C, Mangala and Roberts plus 45 million for Maguire. That's actually a really good point, and hold on to that one, Mr. C, because that's a good point. Simply, but why does Azerbaijan hate Armenia? And it goes back to a piece of territory. There's still about 30,000, if I remember right, in a northeastern part of Azerbaijan. That's still there, and without getting into all the political stuff, yeah, it's a bit of a minefield, like it always is when people claim certain parts of territories and things like that. But Baku is a brilliant city, brilliant. That music, we need a huge forehead replacement, so Maguire is good. We need Maguire, not sure whether we need him. I think De Ligt would be more suitable than Maguire. He had leadership companies, I agree with that. Sane stays, says Jay Viva. Good afternoon, Blue Heart, how are you? Abdullah, Maguire is slow, I don't know why we're not going all in for delete, neither do I, Abdullah, sorry. Here we go again, politics again. Yeah, I don't really want to go down that route. Alessandro Giamona, you're new. Where are you from? I'm guessing Italy. Guardiola really go to Juventus. I'm a Juve fan. No chance in a million years. Sorry to disappoint you, Alessandro. Maguire would do a great job for us. Big guy, good in the air, decent on the ball. Under Pep, he'd seriously developed too. I'm not sure. Joao Cancelo and Bruno Fernandes, Anthony Omar says, spoke about Joao Cancelo yesterday, and I did a video on the 16th of May, over a week ago, all about Cancelo. Bruno Fernandes, someone might just cover a bit of Bruno Fernandes, with Cheeky being out there, being invited out there by Sporting Lisbon. So, Sam Jarvis, hi Andy, who do you believe will be captain, vice-captain next season? Good question. Solid second prize. Hi mate, hi Kieran. 150 quid. 150 quid. I think he's worth more than that section. If we sell Sane, we will at pace apart from Sterling up front. Not if we bought in Joao Felix. Looks like Sane is going, possibly. How many English players do we need in the squad these days? Well, probably if Delph does go, which we'll talk about shortly, Delph goes, we'll certainly need one replacement English, which may force us into going to Maguire rather than someone else. Keep Sane by Cancelo. Maguire, English Mastiff says, Maguire's risky, plus Stones might not be happy. I agree. Honest truth, do I think we'll lose Sane? It's looking likely, I'll be honest with you. Sane stays, please. It's not looking good. 150 mils correcting a typo. The old fingers, those old fingers section. I'm sure I knew it was 150 mil, mate, but for some reason I don't think we're going to get anywhere near that. Chada says don't let Sane go. I don't want Sane to go, says Kian. Regard Andy, what do you want to talk about? Maguire. Did you want to talk about Maguire? Yeah, I'm going to cover those. I'm just trying to read a few of your messages out before I sort of go into it. Otherwise, we get caught in it and then miss loads of stuff. Joao Felix is not that quick. He's pretty decent. Andy, you could sound yeah, good mate, absolutely, for their walking football team. Damp Music says Sane don't leave. The Sane, not a Delph fan, but I thought he was cracking player for you citizens. He was great last season. When David Silva goes, Bernardo will move in, leaving a plank for Sane. You want him to walk the plank now. Nippon, Sharma, do you think Kylian Mbappe will be a good signing? Be brilliant signing. Just not sure we'll be paying 300 million for him. That's the problem. Sane will probably get his summer holidays to decide his future. Wouldn't that surprise you? Yeah, and leave us right in the lurch right at the last minute. If we let Sane go for less than 140 mil, we're mugs. Looks like it's going to happen. Do you think next season will be David's last? Probably. Will you watch Derby versus Villa game? Yeah, I'm definitely going to watch that. We're rooting football. Of course we are, English finest. Andy, you're not that slow. I've seen you run when it's your turn. What, to the bar? Sane and Mbappe swap deal. Yeah, and another 200 million on top. Mbappe is too good, too expensive. He's not too good, but it'd be too expensive for certain. Hi, mate. Hi, Niall. Right, okay, we've got a load of people on here. We've got, just looked, we've got 73 people. That's brilliant. Don't forget, give us a thumbs up if you want to. Abdullah says, we let go of Sancho because we couldn't give him a chance because Sane, and now we could lose two bright young stars, future world-class players. We haven't dealt. No, that's garbage. That's nonsense, mate. Absolute nonsense. We offered Sancho a great deal. He didn't want it. He wanted guaranteed game time, and not one single Man City fan, let alone Pep Guardiola on here, would have turned around and said at the beginning of this season, oh yeah, definitely Sancho ahead of Sane. Not one single City fan would have said, oh yeah, definitely we'll keep Sancho and he'll definitely play ahead of Sane. Not one single one. And let's face it, he's playing in the Bundesliga. It ain't the Premier League. Will he go on and have a great career? Quite possibly. But you know, to say that you know, we've not dealt with it well is wrong. It's frankly, factually wrong, because we offered him a great contract. He decided he didn't want to sign, and that was his decision. Pep said that himself, said there was nothing I can do. I asked him to stay, I wanted him to stay. He chose otherwise. So the club have to go, you know, have to go to get rid of him. You can't force a player. to be there, and Pep, rightly so, wanted to look after his development, his own personal career as well. He's a human being at the end of the day. So the Rodri Hernandez team, as it goes, how we're going to sign, we'll see. I don't see us in Liverpool being title contenders for the next 6 years, maybe. Bernard, hi mate, how are you? Jay Fresh. Not missed a great deal, mate. I'm just reading people's comments out, and then I'm going to go into the Maguire, Sane, Pep, Delph stuff. Your section, you're spot on. He still wouldn't be in the starting lineup for Man City. He just wouldn't. He wouldn't get in over Bernardo, and he certainly wouldn't get in over Sterling. And they've been our two wingers, go-to wingers. So, you know, the Sancho thing is just misnomer. It's a forget about it, done with, because there's no point in discussing it. He wanted to go, and we couldn't keep him. So that's the way life is sometimes. Germany is attracting a lot of youngsters around the world now, mate. Just one of those things. They'll be wanting to come back when they hit the prime. Well, yeah, and what Germany doing in Champions League, and you know, four teams in the Europa League final and the Champions League final. So Germany football, it is what it is. It's not very good. Chad, hey City fans, I want to share my experience about City with you on our channel. You want to, hey City fans, I want to share my experience about City with you on our channel. And what have you got a channel, mate? If Sane wants to go, then let him go. But I'm sure we'll replace him. Absolutely, of course. What's your predictions for Champions League finals? Right, might get into that later, but I'm going to go Spurs and I'm going to go Chelsea for that. Do you think De Ligt would be a good replacement for Vinny? Absolutely, of course he would. Still up Mahrez. Still missed that one. Still up Mahrez. Will do great in the second season. I remember Bernardo's average. Yeah, totally agree. JTR 35. We'll see. It's whether he gets enough opportunities. How are you, Andy? Chris says I'm good, mate. How are you? Why do you go into Bayern where you possibly get any competition from the teams they just play Champions League? Yeah, good point. Don't mind signing going to Bayern. It's where he is. Artist, but Bayern want him for peanuts. Yeah, they're not going to. City, I don't think will let him go for peanuts, but maybe not as much as we would like as City fans. Maguire is a rip-off. if anywhere near the price, he is. We're an elite club. People need to get that through their skull. Right. Hey, Andy, how are you? Chris Baker, I'm good, mate. You? Neymar to replace. God wouldn't want him anywhere near Man City. Absolutely nowhere. Come on, Andy. We all know you'll be supporting the Reds. Oh, certainly won't be, mate. Sorry, Niall. Spurs all the way for me. Danilo, no chance as an emergency centre-back. Possibly, but, you know, at the end of the day, we bought one big player last season, which was Mahrez. Why have an emergency centre-back when we can go and buy one? So, how about Walker, right-sided centre-back, and Cancelo, right-back? Cancelo, I think, ain't happening. I'll be honest with you, I don't think it's happening. So, why suddenly are we going to now change around a double winning, you know, Premier League team to accommodate the fact that Vinny's gone? Just don't make any sense. Just replace a like for like. There's no points now, well, let's put Walker here and let's move them there. And suddenly we change the whole dynamic of the defence. Don't make any sense. I really don't understand this sudden obsession with Joao Felix, especially at a price where rest trip. Well, Cobby, I'll be honest with you. Everyone thought the same thing about Mbappe. Look what he's gone on to do. When world-class managers identify somebody that is absolutely incredible, and I'm still not sure, I'll be honest with you, I'm still not absolutely sure, but when a world-class manager identifies somebody who goes, that's talent, like Pep did with Bernardo Silva and others, sometimes if it means you have to pay a little bit more to get them, considering their age and how long they would be, and would they fit into the team, and he thinks Joao Felix is that player, then we go all out for them. It's that simple. You know, you could argue we lost out when Mbappe went from Monaco to PSG. Maybe we should have been going in there and getting Mbappe at the time. But, you know, got to remember we had FFP regulations and we got this and we got that. That's why if we're going to spend that much money on somebody, we're going to have to recoup some of the money. And that's why I think Sane will probably go for less than 100 million, which is a massive shame. Hey WE, how are you, mate? 88 million value.com. Yeah, it's going to be around about 93 million euros, which is a shame because he's worth more than that in my opinion. But like I said, if it means City have to put 20 million to that to get Joao Felix as a replacement, then so be it. You know, at the end of the day, I don't think they'll want to drag this out all over the summer and get to the end of the summer. If we stick with the Sane, which is on the title that we're talking about, City obviously we pay £37 million for him, which if you think, well, we're going to make in a few years, we're making 50, 51, 52, 53, 55, however much it goes for, £1 million profit. So, you know, City could easily sit there and go, no, we're sitting here for 150 million quid. Now, they could quite easily do that, and it might drag in the likes of Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Barcelona, that will compete and up the price. Now, should we do that? Possibly, but if we're going to do it now. Do it right now and get as many bidders in. Now, we don't know what Sane has said to the club. Sane might have turned around and said, I want to go back to Germany. End of story. I don't want to go anywhere else. I'd rather go to Germany. Which leaves the club in a position whereby they've got to look at it and go, okay, we want to make a significant amount of profit on him. It's that simple. Do we turn around to Bayern and say, look, we think he's worth 120, 130 million, and Bayern will then go, we don't, but we want him, and we'll give you 90 million quid, let's say, as a let's just say 88 million, 90 million pounds. City have got a choice, and they either go, no, we're not doing that, and then they'd come back and go, okay, fine, fair enough, and then it holds out, and then Sane is pissed off with City, and then it goes on and on and on right through the summer, and all the time the other targets are getting further and further away, where they can't get into serious negotiations, because the last thing they can do is spend 105 million quid on Joao Felix and then not sell Leroy Sane, which puts us in massive problems then, because it affects all the other transfers. So if we were to invest in Joao Felix and then suddenly the Sane thing goes boom, tits up, then means we don't have the money for a Bruno Fernandes, we don't have the money for a left back, we don't have the money for a Maguire or whoever, Delph, or so it's a massive. It's very, it is difficult and complicated. It's not as easy. It's not fantasy football. It's not, fantasy managing game or something. There's a lot of things that are involved in it. So, City might well believe that Sane is worth 120 million. But if Bayern are just going to turn around and go, no chance, absolutely no chance. And we don't know whether the conversation Sane may have had with his agent, his mother, with Bayern might have said, look, don't let them pay any more than 100 million or whatever. We don't know what's gone on and what's been said. The rumours are that City have allowed Bayern to approach Leroy Sane. Got to remember, no transfers can be done. International transfers can't be done until 9th of June. So we're still 2 weeks away from that. So we don't know what the discussions have been had between Bayern and Leroy's agent himself, etc., his family. But I think Bayern's biggest transfer record was around 40 million quid, so for them to go to 120 million is it's just not something they do now. So City are in a position whereby they can either turn around and say, look, do you want to go? Now, if Sane is definitely said, I am definitely want to go to Bayern Munich, then City have got to be realistic in the likes of saying, okay, well, we've got 3 or 4 other targets. Now, we have got to be sensible about this, because we know Leroy don't want to be here anymore. We have got these 3 or 4 targets that we want to go for, but we need to recoup some of the money. And like I said, unless an agreement can be made early, and we know that's it, signed, sealed and delivered the 9th of June, that deal is done, signed off, been approved, etc., etc., and we know we're going to get the 90 million quid or whatever it is that we get, City might well have wanted 120, 130 million for him, but they might have said, look, we'll take the 90 million. That is pretty much almost everything that we're going to throw at Joao Felix, and I'm only using him as an example, or whoever. Then at least we know then that's one out, one in, and we've got a 10 million deficit. But we've already got money set aside for a centre-back or whatever. But the last thing City want is for, you know, this to go on, to go on and on and on in the summer. Because what that does, as like I said before, has a massive impact on everything else that City have been planning for, no doubt, for the last 2 months, 3 months. So it's one of those things. I think I can't see him going for more than 100 million. I really can't, which is a shame, considering when you look at the likes of Dembele to Barcelona and Coutinho, is miles better player than both of those. And it'd be a shame because in the future it could be anything. I just think, said it in a video I did, might have been January, February, early this year. And I think if you look back on our channel, I did a video that said something along the lines, what's the problem with Leroy? Or something like that. And I said in all of that video, there's obviously an attitude problem with him. And we tried to sort of look at it and say, well, he's just had a baby and maybe this and maybe that. But I think all along, it comes back to this, you know, Joachim Löw, excuse me, didn't take him to the World Cup. And there was more to that than just tactical reasons. There was obviously attitude and, you know, issues with him. So Leroy has clearly got this little bit of an attitude with him. And we don't know whether that is a really bad attitude that Pep just won't, or has tried to change him, or he just thinks he's better than he is. And, you know, that attitude will never work with Pep. We've seen he's got rid of players like Eto'o and Ronaldinho and Ibrahimovic. So massive egos, huge egos. So, you know, if he's got a young kid trying to push Pep into forcing him to play, then, you know, maybe there is something. Maybe there is actually something in there, and Pep might just think, look, if we get 80 million for him and 90 million, great, let's get rid. It's one less problem I have to deal with. So I do think he'll be gone. That's my honest opinion. Ray's on. Didn't Leroy get dumped by a sponsor? I don't know, mate. He might have done. And if he did, what's that telling you? So I think there's more to it, a lot more to it. And maybe it is just a bit of an attitude thing with him. Merlin Spar says it's just business. Of course it is. It's all about business. That's all it is. Would we be gutted? Of course we would. Absolutely. Like Pep said, he can go on to be whatever he wants to be, you know. And I think in the video we did this afternoon, me, Ray and Carl, we did a video on summing up the season so far. So we looked at the Premier League season, we looked at the FA Cup, the Champions League, and we discussed that, gave our player ratings for the season and player of the season, and talked about Pep. Yeah, I think Ray mentioned on part of it when it came to Sane and said, you know, he really expected this year, Sane, and next year to be pushing on for a Ballon d'Or, you know, after the season he had last season. And I said, yeah, exactly. But I just think he's regressed. I think he's gone backwards this season. And that is, you know, not a Pep player, because a Pep player goes forwards. So clearly it's nothing to do with footballing ability. It's got to be his attitude. There's got to be something in there. But it'll be what it is. And as long as we get, excuse me, as long as we get a good profit on him, then that'll go towards our spare, whoever we're going to spend the money on, whether that be Felix or somebody else. But anyway, let me just have a quick look back. Niall Hill, he should be going for a price like Coutinho, but he went for so much as he was arguably our best player at the time. But Sane can't get in your team, so we'll go against you. Yeah, I mean, it's a fair point. Yeah, you know, I wouldn't disagree with that, Niall. I really wouldn't. You know, like you say, he's struggling to get into our team. So, you know, if you're taking the best player, if you were to say, look, Raheem Sterling, Bernardo Silva, or Sergio Aguero came on the market, then they would be in the stratosphere right up there with your Mbappes and things like that. But yeah, maybe that's, you know, it's a good point. But still would expect, I personally would have expected more than 100 million for him, just purely because of his talent. But anyway, it is what it is. We'll see. We'll wait. You know, at the end of the day, we've got to trust in the management. We've got to trust in Pep. And if, like I've always said, if a player does not want to be here, I'd rather we get rid of him. End of story. No discussion, no argument. Get him gone. We just get someone else and move on. Always someone else around the corner. Mark Armstrong said, absolutely spot on. Maybe it's constraint outside of his life. Maybe, Gary, we don't know because, you know, we're not on the inside, so we don't really know. But maybe it is something because it's not his footballing ability. It's definitely an attitude or a mentality point of view. And maybe he just wants to go back to Germany. I don't know. Or his parents want him to go back to Germany. It seems like his parents have a big influence on his life. So does his wife. So Rodri or Ndombele, well, I'll be honest with you. I've always said Ndombele, but, you know, that's gone very, very quiet. The Rodri one's still around. So you'd have to say Rodri's got more, you know, more chance of coming to City than Ndombele has. Sane should be on a level with Sterling. Well, yeah, I said that in the video. You know, you look at how Sterling's pushed on again this season. Had a great season last season, gone even further this season. Sane's just regressed at City. No one's bigger than the team. Spot on, Gary. Absolutely. And I don't care who that is, any of them. I heard Felix has a bag of tricks. Very, very skillful player. He is very, very tricky, quick. Got 2 good feet. Brilliant finisher. Absolutely brilliant finisher. I think he's got potential to be better at just attitude. Yeah. Will Jesus leave? I don't think so. No, I really don't think. I don't think Gabby's going anywhere. Gabby says he wants to stay. Pep says he's really happy with him. He knows, you know, at the end of the day, don't forget, he trusted Gabby over Sergio when he first came in. So we saw in Wembley, sorry, I got a bit of a sore throat. We saw at Wembley against Watford. Gabby was superb in that game, absolutely brilliant. Gave us a different dynamic to what Sergio does. So he's definitely got a place. And you've got to bear in mind that maybe Sergio's only got 12 more months, maybe 2 more years tops. But it wouldn't surprise me if he really only gets another year, and then we get some money back off him. That wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. I'd love him to stay, finish out his contract and everything else. But it wouldn't surprise me if him and David have 1 more season, if we get the players in to replace them. I think Leroy's having his arm twisted because of the German national team. Lowe's getting involved, according to media. Well, I read something last night from Lowe, and he was actually quite on the fence with it, and said, you know, he thinks that he'd be great in the Man City team, but he said it'll also might be good for him if he comes back to Germany. So, you know, he's obviously looking after his own interests. Selling 50 million, keep the season tickets the same price. 50 million profit. That means we'd have to get 87 million for him. Sane is all attitude, you can see it in his face. Sadly, we've seen it longer than this season. We saw a bit of it last season, but there's no doubt in his ability. On his day, he's unstoppable. He's unplayable. Abdallah says, we should look at. United are interested. United, apparently, rumours are they've offered him 230 grand a week. I thought they would have gone in and offered him a hell of a lot more than that. I mean, if we can't afford 230 grand a week, that wouldn't bust our wage structure. Then I think we should be going in for him. Why would De Ligt want to move from being in the Champions League semi-final to the Europa League next year in a team that let's face it, he's not going to challenge for the Premier League. So I'd take Ndombele in a heartbeat, absolutely section. Cobby, this the way this Leroy Sane situation has been handled is really bad. Why is it really bad? We're not being forced anything. Where you're getting this has been handled is really bad. On what evidence, Cobby? That's honestly, as I would say, you're talking garbage. Absolute garbage, Cobby, because Sane has been offered a contract extension 12 months ago. City have tried and tried and tried to actually increase his salary, his weekly wage. They've tried for 12 months to get him to sign a contract extension. If a player does not want to sign it, there's nothing the club can do. Absolutely nothing. So to say it's been handled badly, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry, but you don't, mate. So there's nothing you can do. Absolutely nothing. You can't force him to sign an extension contract. If he turns around and says, no, I'm not signing it, I'll wait until the summer, and then all the rumours come about he wants to go to Bayern and blah, 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 blah. That's out of City's hands. City cannot do anything about that. Absolutely nothing. So, Brian, you're about 30 minutes late, mate. We've just discussed all of Leroy Sane. It's a conspiracy. His side situation, same as Nolito in a way. No, I think two different things. Jesus can play left wing. Yeah, we discussed that as well today on the video. It was a masterstroke to say it was. He played brilliantly. Whoever we get will take 12 months to adjust. Maybe, quite possibly. But let's face it, Sane is in and out the team, hardly played, so it's not much difference, is it? Jesus got a bag of tricks. He has. He's got a fault in his Has he got a fault in his makeup? Yeah, I think we think there's something there, but we don't know. We're only guessing. We don't know him. Is Jesus your future though, Andy, or do you need another top striker? I think we'll still buy another striker. I'll be honest with you, because we've got to be realistic. Sergio has got one, possibly 2 more years at Man City, but really for me, he's got at the top of his game. He's possibly got 12 more months. So we've got to be planning ahead, and we've got to be looking. And let's face it, Pep's a clever guy. He's the best coach in world football. He knows where the players are at with his fitness team. He knows what he wants in the future. And if we buy somebody in those positions, it means that he clearly thinks, maybe Sergio's got 1 more year left, top 1 more year left. Or maybe Sergio said, look, I only really want 1 more year. If you can sell me, get as much money, I'll go back to Argentina. We don't know because we're not on the inside. Sergio's got to get another 20 goals in the season for the record. I hope so. I really do. And God, he must get 20 goals easily. Whoever get the needs to track back and work hard, absolutely. Chinese League has made it worth getting rid of some good players with a year left on their contract instead of going for free. Yeah, that's a good point, Niall. Yeah. As long as those players go in there, though, I mean, at the end of the day, would you want to be like a... who was it? Who was it? Chelsea who went? What was he called? The Brazilian. He should be playing at top level football, but gone playing in China. I understand, obviously, huge amounts of money, but not many Sergios out there. Ain't any Sergios. Oscar, thank you, Ali. No Sergios out there. I mean, to replace him is almost... You're looking at your Mbappe's, I'll be honest with you. Other than that, and even Mbappe's a different player to Sergio, so... They're at the, very, very few. I would say the closest I've seen, I don't know, Suarez at the top of his game for Barca, but not many people compared to Aguero. He's been absolutely amazing for us. I think Bayern are pretty much cheeky after making all those disparaging comments. Should charge them. Yeah, well, we discussed that, Gary. I mean, it's one thing us saying they should do this. In reality, it's not about that. It's not about the argument about whether Rummenigge and Bayern are, influencing the Der Spiegel articles. It makes no difference to City. City have got to look at it from purely a business point of view. And if they're thinking, we want him, and him, but we need this money in, and Bayern will probably know that as well. So maybe that's why everything is being kept very, very quiet as to who City want. We're linked with hundreds, but maybe it's been very, very quiet because the first deal that needs to be made is the Leroy Sane deal to Bayern. And maybe if it gets out that, oh, yes, we're definitely going for Joao Felix, that's 105 million. And then Bayern have a bargaining thing and say, well, no, I'm not going to give you any more than that. I'm not giving this. So we don't know. Guardiola is the new Juventus coach. Guardiola. Well, if we move on to that Simone Bomber, obviously you don't know much about football, clearly, or don't know much about the media, because we already know that Guardiola and City executive board members have come out and said it's absolute nonsense. And if you want to go and have a look at or where all this come from, it came basically from Allegri. And Allegri basically said a manager of Manchester is coming. Now, when they say a manager of Manchester is coming, basically, what they mean is somebody who has managed a Manchester team. Who is available at the moment? Who has managed a Manchester team? Yes, Motormouth himself, Jose Mourinho. So it's all settled. It's all done. Jose Mourinho. Jose will be Juventus's coach within the next week or so. So absolutely, that's where he's going. It's nothing to do with Pep Guardiola. Absolutely nothing to do with Pep Guardiola. Pep's already said, I think on 3 occasions, in press conferences, I don't know where all this has come from. I'm going nowhere. I've got a contract and I'm staying here. We've had the executive directors come out and said, where has all this come from? It's absolute nonsense, blah, 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 blah. And then this came out in, obviously, an Italian outlet, which got picked up by Goal, which, you know what the Italian press is like. They're absolutely crap. They're either moaning non-stop about, a boss or whatever else, or what they're doing is making up absolute garbage. So the Italian press are the worst. We think our press are bad. The Italians are absolutely awful. Terrible, terrible media outlet. This is where it's laughable. Pep Guardiola is rumoured to be on £15 million per season at Man City. £15 million per season. Yeah, according to this Italian report, he signed a 4-year deal for a total of €24 million. Hold on. So he's taking a £15 million per season contract at City and taking a pay cut to €6 million per season just to go to Juventus. Garbage. Absolute crap. So there you go. Take your Italian media, stick it up your jacksie. Nonsense. Pep is going absolutely nowhere. Don't worry about it. So, yes, Mourinho. Jose Mourinho has some issues with the Juventus fans. So Willis, Mourinho is thick-skinned. Mourinho won't care about, because he was at Inter and things like that, he won't care one little jot. As long as they pay him the money, he'll go. And somebody said he was great in Italy. Who knows? He'll do a great job there. Of course he will. Absolutely. So so don't worry about the Pep Guardiola stuff. There was rumours that Pep Guardiola was in Turin, then he was in Milan, just been seen that day, when in fact he was having photographs taken with Khaldoon, Cheeky and Sheikh Mansour at the very same time. So can't be in 2 places at once. So absolute nonsense. So the manager who Allegri is talking about is Jose Mourinho. So there you go. If you're a Juve fan, good luck with that one. If the moaning one goes to Juventus, whose fault? Yeah. But Ronaldo, you only have to look at I think, was it not an article that Jose came out with earlier in the week talking about how him and Ronaldo were just like best buddies and blah, 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 and all that. And now you've got this coming out. Yeah, it makes sense. It's all been prearranged because he's going to be the next Juve manager. Can you imagine? Fans would be like that, wouldn't they? Juve fans. Who? Moyes, who's he? First world problems, eh? Remember 10 goals at home for the season in pace? Yeah, absolutely. Hey Andy, hi Ray, how are you? Adam, typical City is now hammering teams rather than getting hammered. Absolutely. Right, the next thing we've got. So we talked about Pep, we talked about Leroy Sane, Maguire. I don't really know where to go with this one because the rumours are obviously, no, I can only say garbage. There you go. There is no way City will pay £90 million for Harry Maguire. There is absolutely no chance on God's earth City will pay £15 million more for Maguire than Liverpool did for Virgil van Dijk. Never in a million years. It ain't happening, I'm telling you now. Is a decent player, is English, so that I guess would bump up his price. Is he a £90 million player? Never in a billion years. £45 million player? Maybe around about 40 million, 50 million tops because he's English. Is he a £90 million player? Are you having a laugh when the likes of De Ligt he's 19 and he's already proven as a captain, been to a Champions League semi-final, so, got all the technical ability in the world. Is going to go for around about 65, 70 million pounds, and City are going to pay 90 million pounds for Harry Maguire. Slabhead, are you joking me? No chance, ain't going to happen. Now, Scott Williams says Patrick Roberts going the other way in exchange. Now, and this is where, hi Chris, this is where there's good points that have been made. Now, would we be able to offload some of the deadwood to Leicester in return for that? Now, that's a possibility which might, if, I don't know, let's say Mangala was 10 million, we might push up to 15. If we gave them Mangala to replace Maguire, Patrick Roberts, 20 million quid or whatever, 4 million quoted in the MEN and 4 million quid, it just shows you. Let's say we got 10 million, let's push it up a little bit. So if we got 25 million, so that brings it down to around about 65 million quid. You are then, why am I ignoring your questions? I'm not ignoring your questions, mate. I haven't even read one of your questions out. I've not read anybody's questions out for about 10-15 minutes, mate, because I've been talking about things that you've been asking me about. But let me just, to put the record straight, Asa, let me find out which question were you asking me before you start crying. Asa Strambler, hey Andy, if Roger is coming for sure, do you go for Ndombele or Bruno? Right, that's a question if you were on here before. We talked about Ndombele and everything else, mate. So keep up, come on, keep up. But I will answer your question about Bruno Fernandes, mate, I promise. So, not ignoring you, you're not the only person on here. There's 106 people making comments, so it ain't all about you, buddy. As the Saint says, keep up, Asa. Yeah, I mean, I can only see that is the only way we would go anywhere near than this 80, 90 million quid for Maguire because, he's decent, but nothing special. Absolutely nothing special. So, I don't get it. I just don't get it at all. For me, is he a City player? He's a decent defender. You would prefer Varane or De Ligt, says Alvinda. Yeah, me too. ESPN has been saying that Guardiola doesn't trust Stones. I think that's rubbish. Stones is fabulous. I don't think Guardiola has ever come out and said anything like that, so just ignore it. ESPN, is it ESPN UK? They normally talk a right load of shite, so it's probably them anyway, Davey. So Pep would never come out and say that, never. Why not go all out for De Ligt? Well, like I've already said that before, McCund. I've said, you know, if he comes available, if they're going to, United allegedly offering £236,000 a week, that's not going to break our wage structure. We discussed it yesterday and last night, and I said the problem being is if you're going to start offering somebody £400,000 a week, that would break our wage structure, and that causes massive problems for everyone else. But 236 grand a week is not going to break our wage structure. So I agree. All in for De Ligt. Whether we'll get them, I'm not too sure. Bianco Nero, hi, I'm Italian. Pepsi or Pep no, Juventus, or bit late, I've already said it's garbage. You've got Jose Mourinho. That's who's coming to Juve, I'm afraid. That's the Manchester connection that Allegri said. So it's not Pep, it's Jose. Jose's your next manager. Hi Andy, City been good to all their players, been good on the transfer market in the past. I trust in the club. You've got to, Tony, absolutely got to. No one's taking Maguire, I'm afraid. No, it don't look like it, poor fella. We got proper ripped off with him, didn't we? Roberts play regular for Brenda. Well, that's the thing, Mr. C. Good point. I mean, that's the thing. He knows Roberts. I still think if it's 4 million, the MEN are saying 4 million. That's nothing. It's peanuts. So I would expect it to get a little bit more than that. Ilzed says De Bruyne right wing, Foden left wing, problem solved. You on drugs? De Bruyne on the right wing, Foden on the left wing. Neither are wingers. And both play in the centre, and we would rather have them, I'm sure, playing in the centre. The English tad adds pounds even when they're not worth it. Of course they do. The tag of an English player always will add at least 10 million. Pep's always said that. Maguire could stay where he is. Let's hope so. Stones is quality. He is quality. You know, maybe he's just had a bad year this year. Andy, you should consider making a soundboard with your phrases on it. I'm sorry, mate. I apologise. I do apologise. De Ligt and Neves would be nice. You talking about Ruben Neves? No, not for me. I've watched him loads of times this season. If it's Ruben Neves of Wolves, garbage. It's like 10-game wonder. No chance. No chance. De Ligt, definitely. Jordan says, why would De Bruyne play right wing? I have no idea. I believe Maguire is no better. I agree. I totally agree. John Stones, I think John Stones could do a good job. Let's not face it. Let's face it. 12 months ago, John Stones was going to be the next big thing. He just hasn't had an opportunity. With Laporte and Otamendi and company coming back and things like that, Pep, I'm sure Pep's got loads of faith in him. I trust City to do sensible business this transfer window. Merlin Spar says, I agree. I hope Otamendi stays. I said that in the video today. It'd be a bit a shame. It'll be a shame if he does go. Danilo to Inter now. We don't have Walker replacement. No. And again, he's another one that has been great backup for City. Mangala back to Portugal. That's Scott Williams' good point, because one of the things obviously we were talking about was Bruno Fernandes. Now, Bruno Fernandes, as we know, we've done loads and loads of stuff on Bruno Fernandes, loads. But he'll be playing tomorrow his last game. It looks like he's going to play his last game for Sporting. Now, of all the things, Bola from a Portuguese outlet are basically saying that Cheeky Begiristain has been invited by Sporting to go to the last game, and will be there watching Bruno Fernandes at the Estadio do Jamor. Now, City scouts are also going to be there. Now, what also has come out is that the rumours are from the same paper outlet, newsletter outlet in Portugal, is that they're saying that Man City have already made an offer, and that offer is 55 million euros plus 2 players. But Sporting want at least 70 million euros, and are confident they'll get that amount. So I don't know whether, you know, we are going to just push it and go, look, we'll give you the 55 million and we'll give you Mangala. There you go. There's one. And somebody else, or 2 or 3 others. Now, we know that we've built some ties with Sporting, whereby we might be able to send some of our younger kids over there. So we'll see what happens. But on that shout out about Mangala back to Portugal, you know, there is that option there. Maybe he might be part of the Bruno Fernandes deal. Now, 70 million euros was around about the original offer that the rumours were coming out with a couple of weeks ago when we were talking about it on here. So, you know, 55 million plus 2 players. If one of them's Mangala, so let's say 12 million euros, so that's 67 million. You're in the sort of ballpark area of that. So good shout. So maybe Andy, any more info on Otamendi to Valencia? No, nothing else has come out. Nothing else other than the previous rumours. Nothing at all. First on the board, absolutely garbage. Yeah, Chilwell would be a good shout. Mendy's injury, still not sure. I know he's a good, decent player, but I'm still, something just don't float my boat. I'll be honest with you, Chilwell. Everyone needs John Stones in the middle. Bernard. Company was brought back to do a job and win the league. Job done. Absolutely. He did amazingly well. I would welcome Delph, but not if compromised City's wage structure. He has to come for football. Yeah, well, like I said, if the rumours are that he's being offered around about £236,000 a week by United, that's not going to break the wage structure. My concerns were when you have the likes of Barca and others coming in, you're looking at 300,000-400,000, which definitely would break the wage structure at City, and that is not going to happen. So if it's around that figure, that's positive news for City, if and only if City really want to go for De Ligt. So Stones is going to be used in midfield more, unfortunately. All depends on who we get in. Don't forget Stones. You know, Stones has had some wonderful games for City. And somebody I think mentioned on here, I think it was Brian or somebody said, you know, he's had some things going off. Yeah, he's had a separation with his girlfriend, fiance, wife, whatever. I'm just worried about the fact that we need old school leader in our team. Leaders, yeah, that's the one big worry for me. But I do think we've got the likes of Kevin De Bruyne who will step up to that. I think he's a guaranteed leader of City. We've got Bernardo, but I still think Kevin De Bruyne is the one. He's the one that I think leads by example. So will he be a winning company? Probably not. You know, and not many will be. Miles Lundy, who do you think City will buy, Andy? We're going to do a transfer video next week on that. So not going into transfer because it's just all gossip and rumour. Koulibaly's good replacement for company, but spending over 40 million. Be honest with you, I've watched him numerous times this season. Nothing special for me whatsoever. If he was, he'd have Barcelona coming in at an instant because they're desperate for centre-backs and defenders. 40 million, yeah, I just can't, not for me. What do you think about the chance of Felix? Yeah, mentioned that we talked about Felix earlier, Craig. Sorry, mate. You know, problem being is that some people tune in late. We're already 53 minutes into it, and we discussed it all earlier, and other people get bored if we go back talking about the same things we've already discussed. We talked about Felix earlier, but don't forget you can go back and watch the video. The video will be online in about 10-15 minutes after we finish. Will Fernando lead this? Fernandinho leave? No. KDB next captain? Think possibly. 110 million apparently to me. Ain't going to happen. Will United be privy to City's wage structure if they know our limits? They will pitch the offers above me. Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm sure they'll know what City are paying. I'm sure within their BB, I'm sure they'll know exactly what it is. But, you know, if you've got Pep Guardiola going, look, if they're offering you 230 grand a week, we'll offer you 250, you know, but we're not going at any more than that. If United want to give you 300 grand a week and you want to go and play in the Europa League and have no chance of winning anything next season, entirely up to you. But if you want to come to us, we'll put a load of match bonuses, win bonuses, and you only have to look at the team sharing a £15 million kitty for winning the treble this year. You know, we'll throw all that in and everything else, but we're not going to break the weekly wage structure. We can go to this level, and if it's, you know, if you didn't want to come, fine, don't go there. End of. Ziyech from Ajax. Yeah. He's another Riyad Mahrez. Yeah. Not for me. Makes 0 sense to pay 90 million for Maguire but not pay that. Well, exactly. Yeah, spot on. Eric Garcia is definitely drafted into the Man City first team squad next season. We know that. How much game time he'll get, we don't know. But he'll definitely be now part of the squad, regular squad. So you'll see a lot more of him on the bench, certainly in the Premier League next season. Still got a lot of learning to do. But wow, what a prospect. Mino Raiola is not going to get Pep to sign anyone. Mino Raiola will go wherever the money is. Trust me. As much as Pep and him don't get on, Pep's not the one who does the business. Cheeky Bagheera-Stein is. Ferran Soriano. So it's nothing to do with Pep. If Mino Raiola has shown the money, it will get done. End of done. That's how business works. Personality stuff doesn't come into it. Players like to leave, right? Okay, well, Fabian Delph, as we know, Fabian Delph looks like Fabian Delph is on his way out, which is a bit of a shame because last season he was superb for us at that, you know, support left back role, and he did wonderfully well. This season, it's not worked out for him. He's had a lot of injuries, and when he's played, he's made mistakes and things like that. So Liverpool is going to sign Sane. Oh, God, yeah, in your dreams. But looks like Fabian Delph realises now that he's not going to get much game time next season, and he's got offers on the table now. Leeds are one of them, but I think he's really wanting to stay in the Premier League. He still thinks that he's got another couple of years at the top level. So I think City are looking for around about £15 million for him. Whether they'll get that, I'm not sure. But yeah, it's a shame because he, you know, I think he loved his time at City. Ziyech, we need to replace Sane. Wouldn't want Ziyech anywhere near the teammates. Too lazy. You only saw his effort against Spurs. Couldn't be bothered to track back. Poor. Good going forward when he's got nobody, you know, attacking him or whatever, but lazy. Couldn't be bothered tracking back for half of the game. So wouldn't want him anywhere near the Man City squad. It's not what Pep wants. So no, definitely don't want him anywhere near it. So Delph, yeah, looks like Delph is definitely going. So we'll see. Speaking about toes, did you see pics? Yes, somebody said that. I don't think it was. I don't think she had 6 toes. I saw the pictures of it and I actually zoomed in and was trying to, and it did look actually, but I don't think it is. I think it's like, you know what women are like when they wear high heel shoes and they get like a bit of a curve, a bunion or whatever you want to call it. I think it was more of that. I don't think she really had 6 toes. She could have done, but I don't think it was. Can we bring in Luke Bolton for right back? He's super. He's not. I like Luke Bolton, I really do. But you know, you've got to, AC, you've got to realise where Manchester City are in the bigger scheme of things. You know, we've just won an unprecedented treble. We've got Kyle Walker, who's in Team of the Year. We've got, you know, player of the team last year, whatever. But what I'm saying is, it's not the same as just drafting somebody in who's done really well in the academy team and going, right, you're going to come in and There's more to it than that. More to it. You know, let's face it, Phil Foden's been around the first team squad now for 18 months. He's still struggling to get games and will struggle to get games next season. He'll have more game time. It's not just like plucking some kid from the academy going, oh, you can be our, you know, we're playing in 4 fronts. So, yeah, it's not that simple. We'd like it to be, but we're not that City that we used to be, like we were 10, 12, 15 years ago. We're a different beast now. Pep wants 2 world-class players for every position. So hence why Phil Foden, he believes, is going to be world-class. He wants him in the squad. He thinks Eric Garcia will potentially be world-class, hence why he's going to be in the squad. But bring Bolton into play. Yeah, I mean, yeah, bring him in. Yeah, no harm, absolutely no harm in him coming in for, you know, bringing him in for cup competitions. If you think you've got an easy, you know, home leg somewhere, no harm in that. But into the first team squad, can't see it. Remember, we can only name so many players in our first team squad. Andy, how are we going to replace great leader in Vinny? Yeah, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult without a shadow of a doubt. Zinchenko position is left back, or is he covering? He's covering left back. He's a left midfielder by trade, so he's covering. Done very well this season. Nowhere can never ever convince me he's a natural left back. Don't care what you say, but he's done well covering, just like Delph did last year. Hi, Will Davis. How are you? Any thoughts on Sandler? Still no more news on what's happening. Pep likes him. Pep really does like him. But I think he's going on loan. Need 4 or 5 leaders on the pitch. Yeah, you need 4 or 5 big players, certainly. Outspoken players. Zinchenko is now a starting left back. I think he'll only get better from here. Still think, Dunk, I'll be honest with you, if Mendy's fit, Mendy every single day of the week starts at left back, not Zinchenko. Zinchenko has done well, don't get me wrong, but too many mistakes in him, I'll be honest with you. And he's not a left back. He'll never be a world-class left back, ever. And he's done a wonderful job, and I don't want to put him down, but if Mendy's fit, Mendy starts every day of the week. Havinder, were you worried about any games City started last season without Vinny? Well, good point, BB. We've not seen enough of him in his natural position, but he's technically very, very good. Don't get me wrong, Zinchenko, very good. I think, Brian, you've hit the nail on the head. It's not so much on the pitch, it's off the pitch and things. Somebody needs to step into those shoes, big shoes to fill. I think Kevin De Bruyne. I think we'll still have David Silva and Fernandinho, but I think De Bruyne is the one who leads by example. Maybe Laporte will be the new Vinny. He's had a great season. Yeah, probably a bit too quiet for me, I'll be honest. But as long as he just keeps playing the way he did this season, it'll be amazing. Yeah, it was a great picture on the internet today of the 4 trophies. Hey, Andy, thoughts on Bayern slandering us, possibly selling Sane? I've already did it about 25 minutes ago, mate. I'm not covering all ground. Even Mahrez was playing ahead of Sane, yeah. David Silva, Dino getting older is going to be a problem. Depends on who we sign. It all depends on who we sign. Andrea Godfrey, do you think Sane's... Oh, done it, mate. You need to come. We're at the end of this stream, so we did it minutes and minutes and minutes ago. Andrea, subscribe to the channel, click notification, click that bell icon. That way you'll know when we're live and you'll be able to keep up with everything. But this will be on our channel in about 5 or 10 minutes when we finish. So I miss Mendy's crosses as well. Next Belgian captain, yeah, I agree. English Mastiff. It is a Pomp or Maldini. I gotta go for Maldini. Gotta go for Maldini. I'm sorry, BB. What a player Maldini was. What a player. Incredible player. Vinny is superb, don't get me wrong. Love him to bits, but Maldini was something special. Absolutely. Maldini never did have no Tuesday night. So Maldini could have done it in a wet Tuesday night at the Hawthorns, which is much higher ground than Stoke and windier. But yeah, Maldini was just superb, absolutely amazing. Delph to China for 35 million. Where's that from, Ray? We've got 35 million. That would be incredible. Maldini played until he was 40 as well. Maldini was just incredible. Well, I agree, Andy. If Sane under Pep, imagine him under Kovac. Baresi, what? Oh, Baresi, now what? That was a player. Baresi won't last very long in the Premier League. Not how he used to play. My lord, what a tough guy. Yeah, proper tough player. Superb player. Delph for anything would be good. Maldini, the tennis player. Hello from Italy. Hi, Simone. Pizzarello. Maldini overrated. Maldini overrated. Who said that? English Mastiff. Somebody else said that. I'm hoping you never said that. Sergio Busquets. Yeah, he's coming to the end of his career now. Bit late. Should have tried to get him 3-4 years ago. Couldn't do a wet windy night. Boundary Park at Old and bloody freezing in June. Yeah. Akeem, you've missed it, mate. You've got to come on the channel. You've got to subscribe and click notification. You know, we spoke this. We're now 65 minutes. We're about to finish. We did Sane ages ago. We're not repeating old ground, but watch the video back. It's going live. It'll go on the channel in a few minutes. Can we win the community? Of course. What do you think? Anyway, guys, listen. The only last thing I just want to say quickly is that the PFA Bristol Street Motors Premier League Fans Player of the Award, of the Year Award, I should say. I'm just getting loads of things coming up on here. We've got 3 players in there. There are 6 players up for the award. Usual suspects: Eden Hazard, Van Dijk and Sadio Mane. But we've also got Sergio Aguero, Raheem Sterling and Bernardo Silva are in that particular award for the Fans Player of the Year. So, likes. Did somebody say likes? How many likes? I don't know, 48 likes. So if you want to give it a thumbs up, people who are still on, give it a thumbs up if you want to. Jesus hasn't been bad. No, he's not. Hello, Ray. I always like Kush, do, mate. Sergio Busquets, we need him. Tell Pep. No, we don't need Sergio Busquets. He's coming to the end of his career now. You only have to look at what he did against Liverpool. He was non-existent. I can't help but going back to watch the 93-20 moment coverage. Yeah, every time I see it, I always think, oh, I'm going to watch that again. Tough between Sterling and Bernardo Silva. Very close. Love Eric Garcia to get more time. I'm sure he would, Steve. He's definitely going to be drafted into the first team squad. We know that for next season. So I'm sure we'll see a little bit more of him, and he'll have the pre-season summer tour of Japan to get up to speed. But you and Ray can run the midfield. Ray can be left back. I don't know whether I've got the energy anymore to be in midfield. No, shove me out on the wing or something like that. I'll just let me go lang. I'll be all right there. Bring Bruno and shift Bernardo to the wing, be cheaper option rather than spend hundreds. Well, possibly. Andy can't even run a bath. Yeah, okay. We'll see when that challenge comes out, mate. You keep talking, you keep running it off, buddy. You're gonna make yourself look foolish. But anyway, listen, love you all, you guys. Come on, sit in, let's win the league. Absolutely. Listen, guys, that's it for today. Thank you, everybody. I had a massive load of people on here. Don't forget, if you want to give it a thumbs up before you go, if you haven't already, and if you have already, thank you very much. Mars needs to improve. He does, but let's hope he does. Later, Andy and Ray. See you, Bernard. Andy and Ray can sit in the VAR. We'd have some fun in that, wouldn't we? But anyway, listen, have a brilliant Friday. It's bank holiday. Take it easy, Kiam. You too, buddy. But you can dream. Absolutely. Have a good evening. Yeah, have a great bank holiday weekend. We'll try and come back tomorrow and do something. I don't know what we're going to do. Obviously, it's bank holiday, families, time, things like that. But I think my lads and my wife are working all weekend, so I'll be back tomorrow at some point and do something. But anyway, listen, later, guys. English Mastiff quadruple incoming. I've already done it. Formidables, mate. Formidables. Thanks, BB. See you, Andy and Ray, says JTR35. Cheers, Waldorf and Star. Cheeky bastard. But anyway, have a great bank holiday weekend, whatever you're doing. Go out, enjoy yourselves. Hopefully the weather might just turn a little bit better. But yeah, see you, Macun. Take care. Guys, have a brilliant one. We'll be back tomorrow. Take care. You're welcome, Brian. Thank you.